Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Eagle Podcast. I'm your host, Colin Kaepernick, along with Trevor Harris. Zach Harris is off tonight because he has to wake up 2 o'clock in the morning to take care of his family, which is understandable. Family comes first in these matters. We have some topics to discuss tonight. Obviously, we have the Colin Kaepernick situation linked to the Philadelphia Eagles out of nowhere, and we have what we're going to start with: Brandon Brooks getting hurt, which is a huge dagger to start the Philadelphia Eagles season when it's not even started yet. We don't know what to think. We hope that you guys could help us try to relax a little bit when it comes to this situation. I can't relax at all because I'm drinking this C4 energy drink that I just opened up like maybe 10 minutes ago because I was absolutely exhausted trying to get through this podcast. But it's working because I'm feeling the jitters. I'm ready to go. How are you guys doing tonight? And how are you doing, Trevor Harris?
I'm fine. I'm able to work out again. I've just been living the dream now. I'm free. I'm able to do stuff now. I could sleep in when I want. I'm taking care of myself happily right now.
There you go. That's all you can do. Live the dream. Take care of yourself. Walk the beach. I think you walk what beach is it called up there in Connecticut?
I'll give you a shout out. Campo Beach. It's in Westport. You have to get in there through a sticker, or if you park at the golf course nearby, you walk 2.6 miles altogether from back and forth. Get some time away from everything. So,
are there at least some waves at that beach, or is it just like a flat line?
Some waves. You get some waves, my brother.
Nothing to drive up to, though, right?
No.
Yeah, forget that then. But anyway, I have to ask you a question. On a scale from 1 to 10, what is your panic level on the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line this season to start the year?
I'm at a 5 right now.
You're at a 5.
Well, I don't know why.
Why?
We are in June right now. Training camp does not start till July or August.
Mm-hmm.
We have time to figure this out, which I would never. I was looking at it. I was like, shit, we lost Brandon Brooks. But I realized, it's only June.
Mm-hmm.
We have time to figure this out. We have options to do this with because we have depth in the offensive line, which not a lot of teams have. We have an arsenal. We can go Jack Driscoll at right guard. We can go with Matt Pryor.
Mm-hmm.
Go with Julian Goods-Jones, Sue Apatuta, and Casey Tucker, and Prince Tiago Wangado. We have options to figure out.
All right, so from those 4 that you just mentioned, who is your strongest candidate going into the season, or is any candidate not replaceable when it comes to Brandon Brooks' replacement? Because obviously Brandon Brooks is an all-pro, and those guys aren't going to replace him, but who are you the most confident taking his place to try to do maybe a quarter of his job, if any?
I think if we have to choose one, I think we have to go either, I'm going to say this, it's between a rookie and a veteran, Matt Pryor. I would like to see a competition out of everyone. That's my personal bet. I think we need competition to the offensive line. Who can block the most and who can make the best hold for the running back in the game and protect Carson Wentz at the fullest.
Right.
Because this past 2 years, Brandon Brooks has been hurt in a playoff game with his left Achilles, tore up his shoulder, now his other Achilles. So we have to figure out the right guard for the future.
Figuring out's the word. By the way, Rob Chime's an Eagles fan for life 17. He used to be a YouTuber. He used to do videos, not much anymore. He kind of retired. But he's saying, Kyle, you need a beer, not one of those disgusting, unhealthy monsters. First of all, it's not a disgusting, unhealthy monster. It is a C4 Sour Patch Bro. All right? 0 calories, 0 sugar. But it makes you jittery. It makes you twitch. It gives you that good shit when you need to do a podcast. And that's exactly why I'm doing it right now. I needed this because I was dead tired. So it is what it is. And beer would actually just pass me out right on this live stream as we're doing it. So to answer your question, I'll stick with this. And it's actually kind of delicious. But let's get back to
actually very good, by the way. I've had it.
Yeah, I'm starting Matt Pryor over everyone else. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
All right, last year, obviously, you could say what you want about Matt Pryor when he came in as a turnstile. People called him a turnstile because he literally let people in like a turnstile. But you know what? He has experience over these other guys, like the rookies, and I'm not ready to go with that Driscoll kid over Matt Pryor. I think Matt Pryor is your replacement right now. And, like I said before, people are telling me, how are you going to replace Brandon Brooks? Well, you're not. You're just not. I mean, the only thing that I had trouble with Brandon Brooks on was the fact that he'd have anxiety out of nowhere. Like when Lane Johnson wasn't next to him, it's like his dad, all right? When you take your dad away from a 5-year-old kid, what do you think is going to happen to the 5-year-old kid? He's going to freak out. He's going to moan. He's going to cry. He's going to be like, wow, I want my mommy. That's what Brandon Brooks is. But this is also his second Achilles injury in his career, and that's really bad. So not only you're going to have to find a replacement for Brandon Brooks down the road, but I don't know if you necessarily bring him back. Now, this is something you also have to keep in mind, because if you bring him back, our depth on the offensive line wasn't that great to begin with. And that was a question mark going into the year, because is Kelsey going to retire after this year? You're thinking about that every single year. Is this guy going to come back, or is he just going to fade away? The thing with Brandon Brooks is I don't know at this point. I think you need to draft offensive line, obviously, next year. And, people are going to be like, well, you obviously bring back Peters now. You can bring back Peters all you want, but that doesn't shoe up our right side of our line.
No,
right?
Peters would be like, if he was like, oh, we could throw Peters on the right side. No, you can't do that.
No.
We did that with Andre Dillard. He was horrendously bad.
Yeah, and Andre Dillard, if he tried that again, I mean, he literally said to reporters, it's like writing with your left hand when you suck at writing with your left hand. They put him out there, and I remember the first play. I don't know who he was against the Seattle Seahawks, but the first play, the guy just got around him like he wasn't even there. It was embarrassing. And no, we have someone on Twitch, Shooter McGavin 81.
What's up?
The season is already over. That is harsh. Wow. All right. Now, let's address that real quick, because it's probably our first Twitch comment ever. But thank you for the Twitch comment. The season is already over. Well, to what extent? Like Super Bowl playoffs, or just not making the playoffs? Because the season is over when it comes to the Super Bowl. Oh, I 100% agree. I don't think we're winning the Super Bowl this year. I didn't have those expectations before Brandon Brooks got hurt, all right? I thought this was maybe going to be a 10-6, 11-5 team. I know I said 13-3 at one point, but that's just my biased side coming out of me when I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. When I'm being realistic, I had like 10-6, 11-5, and now I have like 9-7, 8-8. We have a tremendously hard schedule, and I don't see how it gets any better at this point. Brandon Brooks got hurt. And, now they're talking about bringing Colin Kaepernick in when we don't even need him. So it's just one of those things that you have to laugh at this point. Sports baseball might not return. Hockey might not return. The NBA might not return. It's ridiculous. Now, we don't even know if the NFL is going to return. Because Fauci is now saying that in October, it's not a good idea for the MLB to play through October. And what happens in October? Football. So you got to think about this shit. COVID ruined the world, and we're just going to have to put up with it, all right? So
can I say one thing? I'm going to stop to get into politics, but I cannot stand that stooge Fauci.
Yeah.
I think he's the biggest stooge of all times. I don't want to hear his name out of your mouth again.
Mm-hmm.
He's just the worst person ever.
Yeah.
That's one person I wish upon death for. Have Fauci.
Oh, Fauci?
Yes.
I'm sure you're not in the I'm sure you're not the only one in that boat.
I've been calling him a stooge since day one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a character, that's for sure. He also said 13-3. Come on, Kyle, lay off the anthrax. Well, if I was on anthrax, I wouldn't be alive, because anthrax is what they sent through the mail during 9/11, where you upon like opening it up. So it's a different use a different drug when it comes to the 13-3, because anthrax is just a bad what is that analogy? So
yeah, Anthrax also a great band in the late 80s, early 90s for rock.
Yeah. That was a good comment. Maybe crack up. Where's Vitae when you need him? 2020 Vision asks. Well, I'll tell you where he is. He's in Detroit. They signed a $50 million contract. We were not paying him that. It is what it is. It sucks, but a lot of people diss Vitae. I actually liked Vitae. He held his own in the Super Bowl, and he definitely didn't deserve the hate. But people like to hate on people, whatever. I just don't know. It's weird.
Did you see Brandon Brooks was back to Mai Tai trading?
No.
Yeah, he was back to training like 2 days after he got injured and stuff.
Really?
There's a video on Twitter and stuff.
He needs to sit the fuck down right now.
And he was doing it in a walking boot too.
Yeah, he needs to sit down and rest that little Achilles, because he needs to be back next season when it actually matters.
Or if we don't bring him back, he may have a new career choice called the UFC or wrestling.
Greg Hardy went that route.
Yeah, what?
He's fucking shit up. He's winning over there.
Yeah, so think about it.
Final Flash says this pandemic will FK a lot of things up, including durability. It already has, apparently, because Brandon Brooks can't even stand upright without injuring himself. Yeah, it's a shame. It really is that we're not even into training camp yet, and that happened. But that's there's just some things you can't avoid, and that's just one of them. Our guy that has anxiety, the guy that is the best guard in the league, in my opinion, can't stay upright. It happens. We have another comment over on Twitch 3. Wow, that's crazy. I feel for Brandon Brooks with his personal issues, but if anyone else tore their ACL bullshit, and they would get roasted. Well, yeah, because everyone's in shock that it's the best guard in the league that tore his Achilles, not once, but twice. And now we're left on an island with Matt Pryor. So, I mean, yeah, we're kind of in shock. That's why we're not roasting him. It's a little bit different. Tom Harris says hockey will be back. Go Yotes. Obviously a Phoenix Coyote fan over there, or Arizona Coyote fan.
That's my uncle, by the way.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, what's up, Uncle Tom? How we doing?
Uncle Harris. Only thing I'm looking forward to this year is the Flyers. Well, I mean, I was looking forward to the Flyers, but our former co-host, Zomp, said that it's going to have an asterisk next to it if they win. And I always tell him to shut the fuck up and kick rocks because he's obviously a stooge. But, yeah, if the Flyers won the cup, I would be so happy.
I'm still partying. Why not? I don't care what you says.
Baby steps. You got to do baby steps. Going to be a shitload of injuries this year if there's a season. I agree with that. And they're talking, did you see that thing on Twitter with the helmets? They're talking about playing in these helmets that cover the whole face and it's like a Darth Vader mask.
That'd be cool.
But I don't know how they can do that because it wouldn't fog up during the game.
Oakley does the visors and stuff. I think they could probably do something.
Yeah, possibly.
They could probably do when you have to put it in, you have to tie it in somehow or zip it in. So there's gotta be little holes in it to put it, put the screws in to latch it on the mask. I could see it doing like for example, Fletcher Cox. You have it across, and you have little pieces of plexiglass or the visor glass inside where the places the spots are for the helmet.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with what you said, but the guy on Twitter says a bitch can't breathe in a Darth Vader mask. I mean, I see it that way as well. Yeah. So
it's gonna be interesting, but it'd be kind of cool with scientific stuff what Oakley could do with the helmets and stuff.
Gonna have injuries and suffocation. Listen, I mean, I'm not disagreeing. We're not talking about the Papa Roach song either. Suffocation, no breathing. We're not talking about that.
I hope Coach Doug Peterson knows his CPR at least.
Yeah.
Red car, sir.
I don't even know if Dougie knows what day it is sometimes. He's out there looking like third time today, a stooge. All right, Jeff Cross on Twitter says, what happened to Zomp? I think he fell off a bridge. Nah, he's on a leave. We don't know if he's coming back or not.
He's on a sabbatical.
Yeah.
Sabbatical's the word.
Yeah. You don't know what you're going to get with him. He could come back, maybe not. We don't know. It all depends on how the chemistry is coming back when it comes to the regular season. We just don't know who works well with each other. And, we just want to do what's best for the show. And, Zomp right now, the best wishes to him, but he just wasn't in it. So, whatever. Playing with a mask on would exhaust defenses by the third quarter. Laugh out loud. I think he's talking about the mask we were talking about.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be playing with surgical masks. That ain't happening.
No, no.
That's not gonna work.
No, it's not gonna work. I mean, in the UFC, they have masks on, but not when you're fighting. You can't do that. Did you hear Mad Dog's rant on Bryce Harper? You'd be able to answer this because I didn't.
I did not because I do not listen to Mad Dog Sports Radio because A, I'm trying to get a job there. 2, it's all Syracuse alumni, and I can't stand the half their takes. And 3, I don't listen to that station because Nick Wright's on there.
Right. Nick Wright from FS1, right?
Yes, he's on there, and I can't stand his takes.
Yeah, he's a goof. I can't stand that guy either. He picked the Giants to win the division back in 2017. I think they were the worst team in the league.
They were like the second or third worst team in the league. The second worst team.
Definitely. Eric Munez asks, Eagles first round pick next year will be another O-lineman. It should be. Wonder how that offensive line will look when Kelsey retires next year. I'll go off on a limb and say not very good. because Andre Dillard he's a stiff. I don't care to see him play this year because I know he's not very good. His confidence is shot. You have Kelsey that's going to leave. You have Braden Brooks that can't stay healthy. You have Lane Johnson that he's getting another year older. He's still going to be a stud, but he's getting another year older. And you really have to assess it. And I think next year you're going to have to go into the draft thinking offensive line with at least 2 of the first 3 picks, at least, because you need to shoe it up. You need to make it more dynamic because the offensive line, in my opinion, is the most important thing when it comes to a football game.
I think what the Cowboys did when they went back to back was 3 years in a row, 8-8.
Yeah,
I kind of like that idea of building a wall around Zeke Elliott and Dak Prescott, or what originally was Tony Romo for.
right.
I think the best option, if wherever we land in the draft, if it's like top 5, top 10, or top 20, just get an offensive lineman. Keep on building the wall.
Build a wall for once. If he's going to really turn into a pocket passer like he says he is, you got to make him have time, like 5-6 seconds to throw the ball. So I'm totally with that. Who do you expect the Eagles to let go this year? The medical staff. I expect them to let go of the whole medical staff this year because they're turning into the Sixers, and it's not pretty.
One what's funny is the Flyers have the best medical staff in Philadelphia.
That's crazy.
And we have the worst medical staff. I would like to have whoever has the Flyers doctors. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I mean, I don't really pay attention to the Flyers medical staff because the Flyers just, it's crazy because you bring up the Flyers, but then again, JVR got hurt. Who was the other guy?
But they at least diagnosed it correctly.
Yeah, that's true. I guess.
Bill Myers too. At least we get an actual answer.
Yeah,
and we're good.
Yeah, it's true. Jeffrey Cross on Twitter asks, not sure I missed it because I came in late, but do you think Pryor can hold it down? See, listen, what's your definition of hold it down? Because no one's going to replace Brandon Brooks.
No.
Brandon Brooks is a guard. He's probably the best guard in the league. So you're not expecting him to replace it, but hold it down, in my definition, I think he could give Wentz maybe 3 seconds to throw the ball, which any capable NFL player or quarterback should be able to do. But the problem with Wentz is sometimes he needs more time, and that's something that I could see being his downfall because Pryor is obviously not Brandon Brooks, and he's not even close to him. So hold it down. It's a tough question because I don't know, to be honest with you.
I just need to see what we have in training camp and first preseason game. I like Fat Tony's question, by the way.
All right, let's check it out. Do you guys see the Broncos and FanDuel have partnered up and will build a sportsbook in the stadium? What are your thoughts on that? Are you talking about Denver, Colorado?
Yeah, I love it.
I think it's cool. I mean, your FanDuel is obviously going to create revenue off that. But when it comes to Colorado, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't really care. But I think it's pretty cool.
There's been talks of putting up in Chicago, putting gambling kiosks in the stadium of the United Center, Soldier Field, Kaminsky Park, and Wrigley.
Mm-hmm.
That's entertaining for me. I think that will bring, instead of I know sometimes when you're on your phone, you can lose service. And you have a kiosk, for example, between 313, there's a kiosk right there, no line, throw your bet in.
Yeah.
I'm there.
I want to go to Wrigley this year. That's one of my goals.
I was going to go to Wrigley this year.
Yeah, well, not this year. You know what I mean.
COVID happened.
All right, here's a good one. Does Doug have a lifetime job just because of one Super Bowl? Lifetime, no. Because in my honest opinion, the last couple of years, I think that Doug has looked very average. So it's not going to buy him a lifetime job. But if he gets to the playoffs at least once a year for the next 5 years, yeah, I would say that. Yeah, he'd have this job for a long time because Andy Reid had the job for 14 years and he didn't win one Super Bowl. So Doug has it for a while, but he's got to step it up.
I'll give you 5, maybe 6, but I need at least another NFC title appearance or Super Bowl appearance.
Right.
None of this wild card bullshit.
Jeffrey Cross likes Driscoll, by the way.
Jeff Driscoll? Oh, Jack Driscoll from Auburn.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of him because he's a rookie. So.
Hey, I know he played on both sides of the line and he could play multiple positions, which is great to have in the NFL and college. I think what we're going to do is be an open competition between Pryor and I'm going to say Driscoll at least. I see Mailata. The people are saying Mailata could have a thing in it, but let's see what we can do with this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for it. There's not much work we can do now. All right, Abel Torres brings us into our next question or topic. I want Kaepernick as our quarterback number 3. Well, if you guys saw my video earlier, it's absolutely blowing up on Facebook. Not so much YouTube, but on Facebook. It's almost at 3,000 views. I pretty much said, if I'm putting it in the summary, that Kaepernick's not a bad quarterback. He will succeed on a team that's not called the Philadelphia Eagles. Number one, the Philadelphia Eagles don't need him. All right? They absolutely do not need him. If they needed him, they wouldn't have drafted Jalen Hurts with the 2nd-round pick. All right? So if they brought in Colin Kaepernick, it would make the 2nd-round pick look terrible. And at that point, you'd have to look into cutting Jalen Hurts because Kaepernick is much better than Jalen Hurts. Colin Kaepernick brought the 49ers to the Super Bowl. All right? And everyone's saying Colin Kaepernick's so bad. No, Colin Kaepernick's not bad. Jim Harbaugh is the most overrated NFL coach of all time with his elementary school offense that he's been bringing year in and year out. Colin Kaepernick ran the pistol perfectly multiple years. He was actually pretty dynamic, if you ask me. I actually feared him at one time. And I think he's going to service the team very well. So maybe as a backup of the New York Giants, who knows? But Kaepernick will be back in the league soon, yeah, because everyone's turning the corner when it comes to the knee thing. So I think he'll be back in the league this year. I really do. Now, it's up to Kaepernick to decide if he wants to join the league again.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that's something that I don't think he'll take lightly. I think he's going to want a lot. And, when it comes down to it, I think it'll make the NFL look better for him to be in the league. But it's going to be on his terms, not the NFL's.
All right. I'm going to say something that may be controversial.
Go for it.
If you guys will like it.
How about it?
All right. Here's the thing. If the Eagles bring in Colin Kaepernick, it's going to be like Michael Vick 2.0 all over again. People are asking when he's going to start, whatever, this, and this. And we're going to wait for an injury to happen, and Kaepernick's going to do his thing. Or he could be really bad like he was in 2016. People forget he only brought the Niners to 1 win that year. Now that team was horrendously bad with Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's fit for the Eagles at all. I think he could probably he could be a backup quarter for Seattle at least. Because they could handle a loud locker room at least, because they've had all the characters in there. Right. I think Seattle's the only option for him. I don't see anywhere else he could go, because a lot of teams have figured out the quarterback position at least. Like maybe the only one I could think of could be Jacksonville, but I don't see the Jags taking him at all.
No, because they're trying to make Gardner. They're trying to build around Gardner Minshew. So I mean, I don't see how that would work out unless they move on from Gardner Minshew, which would be weird because they moved on from Nick Foles. I mean, I could see him in places like maybe Cincinnati, even though they have Burrow. I could see him in places like the LA Chargers because he fits the system.
That's a thing.
He's gonna get a job. He's going to get a job. Now, Jeffrey Cross says, I could see the Ravens taking a shot at Cap. The problem with that is they have RG3 and they have Lamar Jackson.
And Trace McSorley, too.
So I don't see it either. I don't see that happening, especially because they're actually going for a title run this year. And I just don't see how you can put him on a team like that.
I could maybe see him on – this may be very controversial move if this happens – like a Vic move. Kaepernick goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's interesting because that's a very conservative town up there.
That is. Also, you don't trust – I don't see the Steelers trusting Duck Hodges or Devlin Hodges or Mason Rudolph. That could be an entertaining locker room if he goes there, but I think that'll be treated like Vic and people will go nuts.
Yeah. I mean,
Cat Letko, by the way.
I think, Cat Letko said, hey, what's up, Trevor? Yeah, I mean, that would be the most bizarre locker room for Colin Kaepernick to be in because of the whole Mason Rudolph thing and, how conservative it is up there in Pittsburgh. Mason Rudolph takes off his helmet and no. Mason Rudolph said something to Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett took off his helmet and swung it at Kyle Rudolph, and then Kyle Rudolph got benched.
That's a rumor and innuendo, I like to say.
Yeah, pretty much. See Colin Kaepernick on the Colts or Raiders?
Raiders,
no, I don't see it. I mean, Could you see it on the Raiders? I mean, I'm thinking about it.
Have
because
Derek Carr,
we have Derek Carr, but who's their backup?
Marcus Mariota.
He's not very good.
It's the same thing we talked about like 2015 or 16. Colin Kaepernick should go to the Raiders. I remember there was talks about that. Didn't happen. I don't see it happening in Vegas.
Well, they have Nelson Aguilar now.
And they got Jason Witten.
Yeah, they do have Jason Witten. Okay, I would rather have Zomp back up once than Kaepernick. Wow.
I love how we always forget about Nate Sudfeld, too. That's another funny thing.
Because he sucks.
Exactly.
He's terrible.
If we bring in Kaepernick, we're going to have to cut Sudfeld to bring in Kaepernick.
Who the fook is Trace McSorley? Trace McSorley was the quarterback at Penn State University. But he's going to transition into a wide receiver because he can't cut at the quarterback position in the NFL. So
I think he was a quarterback for Penn State that beat Ohio State. Once. I think that's pretty sure.
Eagle Speed brought up a good point. Kaepernick to New England. All right. Now, this is where it gets interesting because if Kaepernick went to New England, you could say goodbye to like 90% of that fan base. If there are any Pats fans watching this, I'm sorry for saying this, but a majority of Boston fans are racist. All right. And Trevor and I can actually vouch for that because we went up to the Flyers game and and this couple next to us, they were like one of the most racist couples ever. And
they weren't PC.
No, they were not politically correct. And it's just it's a Boston thing. And he if he goes there, it would be a good move by the Patriots fans, but a lot of their fans would not be fans anymore. That's just how it is. Boston is Boston, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Massachusetts is that state that you either love what's going on politically or you hate everything. Yeah. That's how much I know. And if he goes to the Patriots, you will see Patriots
Stadium
burning jerseys on Twitter like there's no tomorrow.
Yep.
They're attention whores.
Exactly.
That's what we'll have.
Philly Jim brought up a good point. I don't think Kaepernick wants to be an NFL, period. He's fine with being an activist. His football career isn't important to him. I agree with that because
I'm for that, yeah.
Colin Kaepernick makes more off the field than he does on the field, being an activist. He gets the sponsors. He gets endorsed by Nike. So, yeah, that's accurate. But the thing is, if Kaepernick – it's weird because if the NFL brought Kaepernick back in, would the NFL then win? And that's why Kaepernick wouldn't want to come back to the league? Or is Colin Kaepernick coming back to the league a statement win on him?
If he goes back. By him, I think on his end, he didn't want to go to Atlanta. They had a tryout for him at the Falcons thing. He turned that down to go to his own little shindig at a high school field.
Yeah.
And after that, I don't see it happening personally.
No.
I know it's a big thing right now. Colin Kaepernick deserves to go back to the league. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
If he didn't get a job in 2017, he's not going to get a job now.
And he got a couple contracts too. He got Denver and he got the Ravens, and he turned both of them down. So
I was for him to go to the Denver job.
Yeah.
After 2016 season because I hated Simeon as quarterback. I hated the quarterback they drafted out of Memphis. I thought Kaepernick or Kirk Cousins would have been a better shot.
Right.
Denver, just look at Denver. You get an owner, you have a GM who gets team needs and he gets what he wants, and a team's known for winning.
Here's a good one from Abel Torres. If Kaepernick comes back and sucks, then all of his haters are going to say, "Hey, I told you so." Well, if Kaepernick comes back and sucks, it's not about football. It's about the fact that the guy needs for the national anthem and he's back in the league. It's not about his play on the field. It's about him being victorious coming back to the league after doing all that. It has nothing. That's why everyone gets this misconception about Kaepernick. Kaepernick was trying to make a statement, and it's all political. For him to play it down the NFL again would be a huge victory on his part because he wanted to try to change the world by himself, and a lot of people hated it. So, it's not about football when it comes to Kaepernick, and it's not a "told you so" in quotations. It's, he'd win coming back into the league.
Victory for him. If he sucks, I know some people say, "I told you so." I've been on the train since Jim Halpern left. He's been horrendously bad and injured. In 16, he was horrible.
Right.
And like I watched his first start back. See, they against the Buffalo Bills, he looked horrendously bad,
Right.
and they got blown out by the Bills. Tyrod Taylor's quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Colin Kaepernick is he's the kind of quarterback that needs kind of a team around him to succeed because he ran the pistol nice. He needs a lot of blocking. Like, I think he'd be able to succeed on the 49ers team today, because he has that dynamic offensive line and he has all those weapons. I feel like he would. I feel like he'd succeed almost up to the level of Jimmy Garoppolo. So
I think it'd be a little bit of a tie personally.
yeah,
I remember he was less like 2013. He was less coming out of the pocket. I felt
right.
trying to be more pocket guy.
Mm-hmm.
I just in 14 he kind of like fell. I like to say off the face of the earth with a fourth grade offense. I like to say with Jim Harbaugh. I just don't personally. I just think he's like ever since 2012. I think he's been like we've hit the high points. We're on the low points right now.
Right. All right, here's a question.
I don't know if the coach or coordinator can help him with that.
Kind of switching the topic. Sean Mask asked, any chance we cut Brooks because of injury concerns, too much money?
It could be possible.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it earlier because his offensive line play has been the big key, and we have to we have to draft one first in our first pick in next year's draft.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about that earlier. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, nothing's out the window. And then 2020 Vision says, if Kaepernick is back, he's allowed to kneel. Cap wins. Yep. It's the truth. I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off, and that's just something you're going to have to take because the world is changing.
Yeah. Did you see that Malcolm Jenkins is joining CNN now?
Yep, I saw. I don't get it. The reason being is because
I think of him more as an MSNBC guy personally.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think he'll thrive more.
Right. I just think CNN is too theatrical.
Yes.
I don't really think CNN is real news. I think it's more entertainment, and they cover the wrong things. So I don't get it.
I think he would strive more on the MSNBC vibe more because he wants to be an activist and just talk politics stuff. I think he'll strive there. I think CNN's more of a political stunt by him.
Right. No, I get it. P.S. Tell Zach next time you see him, I'm still raging about the Jalen Hurts pick. Oh, I am too. I didn't like it, and he loves Jalen Hurts because he's a Bama fan. So I'll tell him for you.
Tony, I've calmed down. I'm just here to we'll see what happens.
Eagle Speed asks, who's our cornerback number 2?
As I open up the depth chart, I will make
you have to look and see our depth chart. Love it. Obviously, Jalen Mills is our safety. Sidney Jones, you got Darius Slay. I'd say Sidney Jones.
Yeah, I'll go with Sidney Jones. That's a safe pick.
Yeah, Sidney Jones is cornerback number 2 because Darius Slay is obviously our star. So, yep, there you go, Sidney Jones.
I think our 3 will be Avonte Maddox, and 4 is Mikkel Roby-Coleman.
There you go. I don't really like him, though. Sean Mass, thoughts, expectations on Boston Scott. My thoughts and expectations are that he was a practice squad player that thrived with a garbage offense. I don't have many expectations on him. I'm sorry, I just don't. And Eagle Speed says I like Cravon LeBlanc. He is high on everyone's lists.
I don't see anything in him personally. I thought he was good in 18 when we had Foot Locker players. He doesn't show me anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thoughts on Boston Scott. I think he's just a third guy in the running back group to me.
Right.
He's a special teams guy. I think it's between Corey Clement and Miles Sanders. Sorry.
Yeah, Boston Scott's just a guy.
2 Big Ten guys.
Yeah. Becky McPherson says, hi, Kyle. What's up, Becky? How you doing? Yeah, what it do? LeBlanc is a dog.
Yeah, I just don't see anything.
Yeah, a lot of people like him.
I'm not going to be on the train like, oh, I like him too. No, I have an opinion here. I don't see anything in him.
Yeah, not at all. But yeah, we pretty much covered everything. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Trevor?
As we're going back to life almost, if you're going back to the gym, wipe down your machines. That's my little MO for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go back to the gym anytime soon because I'm perfectly fine walking around my neighborhood doing 3 miles a day. But Yeah, in the comment section, he's like, "Is Zach okay?" Yeah, he's okay.
He's good. Yeah.
He has a family. He has to wake up at 2:00. We did it way too late tonight, but sometimes that happens here at the Fly Like an Eagle podcast. You got to do it, and the show goes on. It's just how.
We like to burn that midnight oil.
Yeah, exactly. We do a fucking show at 1:00 in the morning for you guys. You know, if we're up, that is. Good show, you guys. Abel says thank you. I really appreciate it. We're going to be here every single Wednesday. This week was a very easy show, obviously, because we had a lot to talk about in the half hour. But yeah, we're going to be here every Wednesday, entertaining you guys. And we don't know if it's going to be 9:30, 10:30. We don't know. But we will be on every single Wednesday. So thank you guys for tuning in. And we really appreciate you guys. And my name's Kyle Omega. That is Trevor Harris.
Later, guys.
And go check out his podcast, Upper Bowl Podcast. It goes off every Tuesday.
I like to drop it whenever I feel like it, actually.
Whenever you feel like it. I
think the goal is this week. I think we'll try to get done before Sunday.
Okay.
And we have a special guest, by the way. I'm not going to say who. You need to actually go to the podcast.
I know who it is.
He does, but you need to go onto the podcast, subscribe to it, and see who it is.
Yeah.
You may notice this man's voice.
Yeah, go check out Upper Bowl Podcast on Twitter. Is it Instagram?
Upper Bowl Pod on Instagram.
Okay.
Like the Facebook page on Facebook, by the way, Upper Bowl Podcast. I run it, so it's pretty bare bones. I think you guys are gonna like the pod this week if you like baseball.
Sweet. Well, hopefully you guys liked this podcast this week, and we will catch you next Wednesday. And for every single day, fly like it. What the fuck? I messed it up. Go Birds.
Go Birds, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say something creative, but I fucked it up. All right. See you guys later. Bye.